Okay, welcome guys to this product training session. I think it's number 4 or number 5. So we are trying to organize more of these to make sure that we answer any of the questions. I know we have a support chat, but there's a lot of questions that typically come in the chat that tends to repeat themselves. Some things are not clear to users, so we want to make sure that we provide you some of the answers. So the goal of today's session is maybe to go through some basic navigation, show you what the levels represent, answer any the most asked questions that we get, and then show you some new stuff, so something that is coming in July, and then answer your questions in the chat, and hopefully we can have some feedback from you guys on how you use the data and how it's helping you guys. So maybe we can start. So the first thing that we do is always check pin messages here in the premium support, because some of these are questions that are getting asked a lot. So whenever, like, for example, we have one of those, we pin it in the chat so that people can view it. One of the questions that we always get is when do the models get updated, right? So when can I get the latest data? It's the end of the day. You want to prepare yourself for the next day. You're trading futures and you want to know when the levels can be accessed. So here we pin this message because I think this is a question that we get a lot and it's very important that you guys are aware of it. So let's go through this right now. And if I can ask 2 minutes, okay. So first of all, right now, the data that you guys have access is looking at end of day positioning. So we take after the market close, typically options stop trading at around 4. There are some options that are trading until 4:15. So we start running our models at around like 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time, and then we cover about 400 assets right now, but we are going to increase our coverage to over 1,000. So a lot of you guys have asked me for tickers like ARM and other tickers, so these will be covered in the July release. So just bear with us a few more weeks, but we are going to have about 1,000 assets. And basically, those thousands are going to be the stocks that have the highest option activity, where the levels would make sense, right? So there are obviously 12,000 companies in the US, but most of them do not have option activity, so the levels would not necessarily perform on those. So those thousands are the ones that people would trade every day using options. So the coverage will increase as of July 17, which is the date of our new release. So after the market close, we start running the models for stocks, ETFs, and indices. We run the models Monday to Friday. So if you are accessing the data at the weekend, you will see the same data on Saturday and Sunday, which is the Friday close. That's a little bit different for futures, but we'll go into this in a second. Here you will see our new coverage list. So this is a document that is available. Click on the document. We will show you, let me see if I can open it. We will show you the new coverage list. So these are stocks, ETFs, and these will be the futures. You will see the type of assets. So you will see if it's a stock, ETF, index, and we have about 902. And then we have the futures. So here you have all the different futures. This is the generic ticker, but we also show you how you can create your future ticker. So we use the same ticker symbology that TradingView uses. So if you don't know which future you should use, you can see here. So if you're using the September contract, it's U as a letter, then you type in the ticker code. So NQ, U in this case, 2024.
Fabio, you aren't sharing anything.
Oh, sorry for that. That's a great point. All right, sorry. Let me share my screen. Thank you for that. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, now we can.
All right. So this file, sorry, what I was showing you here is in the, let's go back very quickly. In the premium support chat, you have some pin messages at the top here. Those would be typical questions that most of the user would have. And one of the main one is this one. So again, here is the link to the file, which is the coverage list. Stocks update Monday to Friday. Important is the difference between tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1 would be the most traded tickers, SPX, QQQ, Apple, Amazon, right? So those would update earlier. So you would probably see an update of these very soon after the close. And then we have different tiers. So we have, if we go back here, we have tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Tier 4 would be stocks that are not like they have less volume activity and they're not as requested as the others, right? So we tend to calculate those later. But we're also working on our infrastructure. So the models will be basically running much faster. So the data will be available to you very, very soon after the close. The futures is a little bit different. So we update the future at about 11 p.m. Eastern time. And we have actually a Monday to Friday update, but we also take new data on a Sunday. And the reason is that the exchanges typically release the new data for the week on the Sunday. So if there are new expiration dates or new strike prices because the market might have moved, so like options that are like further in time might get new strike prices or new expiration. So we update that data on a Sunday too. So the data from Friday to Sunday typically will not change drastically. There could be some updates in terms of open interest data that has come in that has not been delivered on the Friday close. So you can use the Friday data, but just bear in mind that there could be another update on the Sunday. CTAs and vol control models are typically updated after midnight, I would say, and they are posted in the chat at around 6:30 a.m. And the screeners would be updated after the levels are calculated. So, first step, we calculate the level. Second step, we run the screeners so that you can get like an updated list on the data. As I said, we are going to increase coverage. So as of July, we are going to have over 1,000 assets between stocks, ETFs, indices, and futures. So just bear with us for a few more weeks, and we'll cover all the stocks that you guys requested. That is great. Before we go into questions about that, let's go into the levels, right? So we get a lot of questions like, okay, so we have levels, they tend to work really well, but what do they represent? So we divide our levels into what we call primary levels and then secondary levels, right? So most of you are using this. A lot of you get confused with the terms resistance and support. It's very important to understand that this is not looking at technical analysis and not looking at price action. We are looking at option positioning, right? So in technical analysis, support is below the spot price and resistance is above the spot price. When we look at option, it could be that the core resistance could be below the spot price or the put support could be above the spot price. And the reason is that we are looking at market positioning. So we are looking at strike prices that have an high concentration of option volume. So it could be that on one day, investors are buying in the money option because there's an event coming, so they want to protect themselves. So it could be that one of these levels is close or above the spot price, which could confuse some users because they think about core resistance and put support in technical analysis terms, but it's not actually the case. Then we have, so let's go into our core resistance. So the core resistance is really the level which has the most call gamma, net call gamma, and it's highlighted by the green bars, right? So here you can see an old chart of the NQ. The widest green bar is the core resistance. We also have secondary level, which are the JAX levels. So the core resistance is the one with the most call gamma, but like if you look at this level here, this is also a very important level, and this would be like a JAX 1 level or a JAX 2 level. So these are reaction zones. JAX levels are equally important as the core resistance and put support, but it's just the difference that there is less gamma around these levels. The second is the put support. So put support is a very, very important one because it tends to kind of stop the price when it kind of goes towards this level. And again, it's not always the case, but this is what we typically tend to see because like investors tend to close their out of the money put options and they release liquidity. So the market makers is releasing liquidity and the price tends to like bounce on that area. A very important level, and we're going to look at the chart after, is the high vol level. The high vol level tends to become like a pinning level because it dictates the shift between positive and negative gamma. Very important because the volatility regime dictates also the volatility of the asset, right? So if we are in negative gamma, we tend to see higher price swings, so the volatility tends to be higher. If we're in positive gamma, volatility tends to be lower because of the way the market makers would need to hedge if we are in that kind of like environment. So the high vol level, there's a lot of confusion, is not the cutoff price. So it's not like there's not really a cutoff price where we are in positive gamma, we are in negative gamma, right? The gamma is a curve. So as you can see here, the gamma profile is a curve. So the high vol level is the shift between the positive curve and the negative curve, right? So it's not really a cutoff level. It's really like when the curve starts to shift in towards negative. So in this area, we are starting to move into negative gamma, and that tends to accentuate volatility. If the price moves towards this area, then we're starting to move into a positive gamma environment, and that, takes volatility down. So that's another very important one. And then obviously we have our 1 day expected move. We have some really exciting news we are gonna release, and our goal is to release this for July, our swing trading model. So one of the questions that we get asked is like, okay, you have a 1 day expected move, works really well, but is really tailored for day traders, right? Which makes sense. We are coming up with a solution that will give you a high level of precision with a 5 days, so 1 week horizon and 20-day horizon in the future. So we call this a swing trading model because it's tailored for more longer term investors, people that might want to like make a play for a week in the future. They might want to like look at earnings and maybe play out like an option strategy for a stock that they care about, or they might simply like do like iron condors and they just don't want to do zero DTEs because there's higher risk and they want to like limit the risk and increase the premium by looking at a longer time horizon. So we're coming up with that model. We're going to show you in the next few days, a couple of weeks, we're going to share more information about it. But yeah, we're very excited about the model. The volatility indicator essentially is not only really a directional indicator, but it's more like showing you how you should position yourself for day, right? So like how much can you make and how much can you lose, right? And it's also a good indicator because it allows you to trade based on the volatility. So if the price reaches the 1 day max, you know that you have a higher chance that there could be like a retracement towards the midpoint. Same happens to the 1 day minimum, and we can look at some backtesting results. So I know you guys have seen this in the past. We're going to come up with more backtesting on other assets, and we're going to do it on futures as well. So we're building a backtesting tool. But essentially, like this data is very important because it can give you like some sort of confidence that that level tends to be a reaction zone that could potentially move the price in the opposite direction. So if you're looking at a reversal trade, that could be a good entry point. If you're looking at a take profit target, that could be an entry point. We also see that in volatile day, like yesterday, for example, when the price break the 1 day max or the 1 day minimum, it tends to accentuate the momentum. So you tend to see like very big price swings. So that's another way of using the indicator. And then finally, we have JAX level 1 to JAX level 10. Those are like the other white bars that you see here. They are less important in a way. So I wouldn't say less important, but they have less gamma than the put support or the core resistance, but they are equally important because the market tends to react when we reach those levels as well. Let me see if we have some questions. 1 second. All right, yes. Have you backtested the expected move with other securities? So we have. We don't have, and we are in the process of integrating a longer time history going back 5 to 10 years. We have done the backtesting on major stocks, but only with the limited time history. So we started the models like late last year, so we didn't have the full history when we ran this backtest. So we had about 100 days, 200 days, but now we have more, and we are backfilling the data so that we can get more history as well. So we are building more backtesting. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for sorry for my delay, but
no worries, no worries. Thanks for joining.
It's a product Zoom, so everything is good. So yeah, hello everybody. Nice to see you, and yeah, enjoy it. So I'll be here if you have questions. Let me know.
Yeah, we're going through some frequently asked questions, and I shared some of the things that are going to come. I'm going to also show you in a second a new trading view indicator that will make you guys very happy and will make you, Patrick, very happy too. We have one question about the NinjaTrader indicator. So we are going to release, so our full release will be July 17th, right? So the indicator is ready. We are finalizing the approval process on the NinjaTrader side. I have a meeting with them next week, which everything should be okay. So we should be up and running for July 17th. And the indicator will actually be very easy because you guys will be able to download a file every day, and you'll be able to upload it into NinjaTrader in a matter of like 30 seconds. So you'll be up and running. You'll have all your futures data up in one place, so it will be very, very easy. So yeah, July 17, we are good with that. So we're excited about that, and that's great. Let me show you some other new things. All right. So one of the biggest questions we have is what ratio do you use to convert the levels, right? So now this is obviously Patrick's favorite question. So here right now you have the option. So when we built the indicator, we didn't really think about the blind spot theory. We didn't really think about people wanting to convert different levels to different tickers, right? So we built it in a way that we could have SPX level converted to the future. We could have SPY levels converted to the future, and we could have NDX level converted to the future. But then we realized that there were some limitations here. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we had the rolling of the NQ, right? So the NQM, which was the June contract, stopped working, and the NQU started appearing, but TradingView didn't roll it out immediately. So people that were converting NDX to NQ were still using it on the NQM, which was really not the most traded future at the time. So people were starting to roll over position. So you couldn't really plot the NDX level on NQ at that time. So you had to manually convert, and obviously that's an issue because it's not immediate. So now we're listening to the feedback, and we are coming up with a much better solution. So the indicator is still under testing, and we're almost done. But basically, the functionality is the same. But look at this. Now you have the option to add any ticker that you have uploaded levels to, and you have the ability to convert to any other ticker. So let's say I want to convert SPY level to Apple, right? And I can go here. Let's see if this works. And actually, I might not have loaded. There you go. We also have some really exciting thing, which is the auto ratio. So one of the biggest challenges that users are having is like, what ratio do you use? When do you calculate it? So is it end of days, beginning of the day? So you have three options. Auto ratio, this will take in the last price of the previous day and will automatically calculate the ratio for you, so you don't actually have to do anything. to convert the levels from one ticker to the other one, or you can still use your manual ratio. So Patrick likes to use the same ratio. You can still do that, and you can apply that. And then you can now you have multiple options where you can have, you know, what I want to put NDX on QQQ, for example. That's now possible. So very excited about that. I don't know. Let me know what you think, Patrick. But
yeah, I like it. So as I said a few days before, it's a nice opportunity. It's good. So there's no more questions about the ratio. The indicator do the job for us. So
yeah,
everything what reduce our time and focus more on trading, on to find quality setups. That's it. So we don't need anymore to spend maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes Excel sheets or all the crazy stuff. What cost us so many time and
yeah.
for this reason, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we are actively listening to feedback. So again, you know, blind spot didn't have, you know, didn't exist a month and a half ago when Patrick joined. Patrick came in, developed this crazy theory, and then now we are going to release that. So that's another thing that we are doing. So the blind spots will also be available via the bot, similar to the TradingView levels. So you'll be able to request them. At the beginning, it will be on major assets, but we are working on a model that will allow you to calculate levels that will be beta adjusted on various assets. So like you could have blind spots on NVIDIA, blind spots on Apple. On the first release, we are going to have a limited number of assets, mostly futures and, you know, indices and major stocks. But in the future, you're going to be able to have it on the full coverage potentially. So that's cool. Moore is asking, can you cover the DAX? So DAX, yes, we are also coming up with some new charts. We're going to have a net DAX chart similar to the net JAX that will be available. We're developing this right now. We're also coming up with some exciting new things, skews on stocks, ETFs, and futures. Those are coming up too. We're going to have some new term structure charts that will help you understand how the volatility regime and the volatility surface is changing. And then this will be for the July release. So we're exciting about that. The indicator is not available right now. It will be released on July 17th, so stay tuned. We're still testing. There's a few things that we want to change, but it will be available soon. So Sinclair is asking, will there be a file that we can load into TradingView for the levels like we are doing with NinjaTraders? At the moment, no, because of the way TradingView platform is configured. We are working and we are going to start planning our web app that will integrate the TradingView charts. And in that case, we will have the levels pre-populated for you guys. But because of the way TradingView is set up, it doesn't allow us to publish data. It doesn't take any files. So the only way for us is through the input section that we built here. So fortunately for TradingView, that's kind of like the option right now. For NinjaTrader, yes, we have a TXT file that you guys will download once a day, and then you will set it up directly into NinjaTrader. So that's a bit easier. All right. Any other questions? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to try, let's see. So Nini, I want to see if I can put you on the spot. So Nini, you've been with us for a few months, I think, since last year, if I'm not mistaken, and you are kind of like a newish trader in the market. And I would love to hear your feedback on how we are helping you and how you're using the data and yeah, how you leverage the data. So let me know if you can give us some insights on how you do it. And sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, is the question for me?
No, it's one of the participants, Nini.
Ah, okay.
Before you joined, we were having a chat. Let's see if you are able to unmute and participate. If not, we'll go to the next question. Okay, maybe not. Patrick, what are the questions that you normally get?
Oh man, so many questions that I don't remember. Yeah, so the normal questions is about when to enter, when to exit, how we can read this, and yeah, all the normal questions, basic questions from the traders. But for this reason, I was developing for you the roadmap. So the roadmap gives you an overview about the market that you can read this much better, to find also areas where we can have potential for trades, where we have a great stop loss, risk reward. So that's the normal questions. But Joel, you was asking, is there a way to see the trend of the levels? Fabio was saying with in the future, but I say we have this now. Sorry, Fabio. So what I'm doing on my side is depend on your trading view license. Yeah, if you be in premium license, there's no problem. So you can add, for example, 5 MenthorQ levels futures. What Fabio have here. You see my comment, this MenthorQ levels futures here. Yeah, so you can add this 5 times. So, and the first one, you fill the data for Monday. The second one for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and until Friday. So for every weekday, you put in the levels there. And then if you want to see the Monday, you make on the Monday. If you want to see the Tuesday, you make on the Tuesday. And then you can see if the call resistance is moving, for example, more to the upside or to the downside. Compare, now we are Friday, compared to last Monday, if the call resistance move more upside or downside. Then you have also some little trend where you can read the market. Yeah. But only a small hack.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, exactly. So one other things that you can do is you can do it through the bot. So if I want to see how the levels, the main levels, so not all the jacks 1 to 10, but how the core resistance and put support have changed, I have this backward arrow here. And you can see how things have changed in the past. So for example, this is very important, like when after earnings, how the market is repositioning on the stock. Like, so, sometimes it could be that the put support drops way down because negative earnings, people are now buying a lot of puts because they're scared about the future. So going back historically will allow you to exactly see that. And you can also do the same for, I think we had a question about the matrix. We can also do the same with the matrix, where you can see the matrix as of yesterday, the day before, and then also we are going to change the format of the matrix. We are also going to show you historical changes, so the one-day change, especially of DAX, DAX, and open interest. So you want to see on a day-to-day basis how much did the jacks change at different expirations. So that's also.
Fabio, I'm here now. I couldn't get off mute.
That's great. I thought. Yeah, so I think we were having a chat before we started the recording, and so you've been with us since October or November, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yes.
you said that you were just approved for Top Step. I would love to hear your journey and how we have been able to help you and how you are using the data. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I know I used to, whenever I would trade before I found you guys, I would always wonder, well, why is price changing here? Why is it reversing? Why is it going a different direction? And then once I started to understand the levels, then I could, I knew why, especially, with options contracts, like if the put expired, then that was going to cause, they would have to buy calls. Am I correct with that? Like if they're put.
It's I mean, it's a bit more complicated. It's all based on the gamma environment. So it's a matter of, are people selling more option or buying more option, and then also the matter of the different levels, right? So, like for example, if we look at today, that was a good good example where the core resistance, kind of like the price tried to move higher here and then suddenly drop back. So we typically see, especially with zero DTE, there's like it's called a pinning effect that tends to like stick the price to that level because of the way that the flows are working. So like you see here, like there's a lot of bars, like maybe an hour or so, where the price kind of tend to stick on that level. And if we look at the NQ, for example, today we saw like a very big kind of like ranging on those like gamma levels, right? So JAX1, again, it's not the core resistance, but is the first level with the highest gamma. So if we go back in the platform, we can go on the net JAX and we type in NQ1 and we can see like the JAX1 is probably going to be this bar here or this bar here. So you see that becomes a very important kind of like stick price that dictated the range for today, right?
Yeah, well, what that showed me was that, there's activity around that level that's going to cause the price it could cause it to go up if it breaks through it and bases off of that level. But like today on ES, when it hit the call resistance, I actually got out of all my trades because I think Fabio said something's going to happen here. This is going to go back down. So it was a good place to take profit, to get out of the trade.
Yeah, and exactly. So the goal is really like that, Patrick is always saying the levels are your best friends. And we are also going to come up with a video for that. But essentially, like without it, it's kind of like you are kind of going blind where, you see this big candle and you think, the price is going to go up. There's a strong momentum, right? But then you overlay that and you know that, okay, this is a level that I should pay attention to. So yes, it could go higher, but it could also like stop, right? So if you are on a positive trade, so if you study here, then that could be a good profit target because you don't want something like this to happen where you are suddenly for an hour or more in profit, and then one or two candles are causing your trade to maybe go even at a loss. So that's the whole point, not only to give you where to trade, but also to tell you, okay, this is an area where you should really pay attention to.
Yeah. And actually, I love the levels now that I'm starting to understand them more. I love them. Like if I go into, let's say if I'm trading options and I, get 5 options, then at one of the levels, I may, get out of 3 of them and then get out of another one at a different level and try to hold that last one until it gets to a major level. But yeah, I love it. I mean, I learned something every day, and I got to listen to Doc a little bit this morning, even though I couldn't find my mute button on that either. So I don't, it's tough for me to find the mute button sometimes. But, I love you guys. You guys have helped me understand the market a whole lot more. I mean, I've been, and studied the market, for a year or so. And after I got into the levels and really started to understand what they meant, my 2 favorite ones are the call resistance and the put support level. But yeah, I just love it. I don't know how I ever could trade without it now.
That's awesome.
So thank you guys.
And so are you doing this full time, or is this more like a part-time thing for you?
Yeah, I do it full time pretty much. I mean, I just do it whenever well, pretty much every day. Yeah, full time.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can tell you this, that the levels, actually understanding the levels with MenthorQ has actually made me, more consistent.
That's
So,
good. That's
yeah,
awesome.
you guys are like rock gods to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Yep.
So we have a questions from LPQ. Do you guys offer information on YM futures? The answer is yes and no. So no is because there's no option activity on YM. So there's not really like gamma levels that we can derive directly from YM, but we can convert the levels from the ETF, in this case, the DIA, and I'll show you what I mean by this. So I can go into the bot and I can go here. And I would take in the DIA levels, and then I would come in here and I would go on my futures levels, the levels, and then I need to find the ratio. So I would need to come here and see what the ratio between YM. And this is actually good for you guys to see how we also can calculate ratios automatically. So right now the ratio is about 1:1. So I would go back on my future section, and then I can go into the futures data, and I can go down here where is apply DIA level to YM. I apply my ratios and I type 1:1. And now I have my kind of like DIA levels on YM. So yeah, like we do have the options. We don't have direct levels just because there's no option activity on YM. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and also you can go to the futures trading room channel. We have also the blind spot for this one.
Yeah. So yeah, so again, this will be available through the bot, but as of now, Patrick posts this here, so we can take this, which is a blind spot, and then we go back on our indicators, and I can actually add my Q levels here. And now you have the blind spots on YM. So you could either have the conversion, you could also have only the blind spots. So really very flexible in that case.
So everything is covered for you. Now you can trade.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really strange. There's no option, really no option activity on YM, so there's not relevant, gamma levels that you can derive. We had it at the beginning, but the data was not really good, so we decided to take it out because it's better to have no data than maybe inaccurate data. It's good. I don't know if anybody else wants to share their feedback. I don't know, Barry. I think you we must talk as well. I know you have used us and you loved teaching. So I don't know if you want to add something here as well for the people that are not connecting live for the recording, or if any other one wants to add anything, like how you guys using it, like how is it helping you guys to make better trades? Weird. Anyone wants to chip in? Any questions?
But I have one question for you, ladies and gentlemen. So please type in the chat, what is your favorite Q level? So maybe we get some idea where you're looking for. So maybe put support, maybe call resistance, maybe blind spot. What's your favorite gamma stuff, Q level, blind spot? So type in something and let us know what's your favorite.
So we have blind spot, core resistance, put support, and core resistance. Makes sense.
I will put also something in.
I will level, yeah. So I feel like most of the people are in line with what you use, Patrick, which is obviously the main 3 levels plus the 1-day max and 1-day minimum. I think that's that one is a very good one for me. I think I really like it because it gives me more confidence of potential areas where the price could go. Can you explain? I can answer that. Can you explain how to add VIX level to the futures chart? So right now, the process is kind of manual. So we have a lot of the users in the blind spot chat that are sharing a code that they convert manually. So you would do it in Excel or you would do it with ChatGPT, and you would really convert the levels and then apply it to the VIX levels applied to the NQ. With the new indicator, you're going to be able to do it here. So you're going to be able to come here and say, I want the VIX, and I want to apply the VIX to yes, right? So I will be able to then convert the data here. And again, we're going to have an auto conversion, which takes the...
I was in Wisconsin last night.
The ratio from the previous day close, or you can add your own ratio, manual and absolute value, which is the spread. Is the auto conversion going to be available on NinjaTrader? No, because no, that's not going to be available. And the reason is that NinjaTrader also has some limitations. So the indicator is going to be a little bit more simpler than TradingView. So you're not going to be able to convert. It's going to be pure straight upload of levels. You could convert them manually and you could upload them if you want to. So that's an option. But we are not going to auto convert everything there because there's just too many assets that we are providing data for that is going to become very, very messy and very difficult to maintain. But you will be able to modify the text and manually convert them and upload them for sure.
But there's no easy way to get the data. So TradingView is also in a free version, and I think you have one indicator for free, yeah. So put on the Q levels indicator and make the convert in your favor, and then you see it in the green line, the numbers where the levels are, and then put this in your NinjaTrader. So
yeah, I mean, it would be a manual process. Yeah, so you can do it. It's more like, we are not gonna support it in a way, like we're not gonna give you VIX levels on NQ, but you can put them if you want to. So yeah, it's possible. But the NinjaTrader is going to be very straightforward. It's going to be very quick. So you guys will be up and running in like less than 30 seconds. You need to download the file, upload it, and the levels will be all populated for you guys.
yeah, nice.
Do you have any questions for me, Patrick?
Any questions for you? Oh, let me think about. Okay, talk again, and I will think. I will have a question for you. No worries, my friend.
I have a question for you.
Okay, let's go.
I think one of the important part is mindset and psychology.
Yeah.
Because I think the most important part, obviously, people or traders tend to look at how can I make money, how can I make more money, right? But the actual goal is more like how can you manage your emotions and how can you, like not lose and take on what you get and make sure that you are successful and you are successful consistency. So since you joined, you obviously shown that you are consistently successful, and I would love to understand like how long did it take you to get there, and how do you manage kind of like emotions when there's a day that you might lose like on a trade, and what do you do about it?
Okay, that's 5 questions.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries. So, okay, I think the most important thing what traders must be understand, and I share this always in the mentorship with the people, understand what is your business. So as a trader, we must understand what our business is, and we must understand what our business not is. So, okay, I give you an example. If the market is our business, can we control the market? No, we are small traders. We cannot control the market. Are we market makers? No. And the second thing, can we control other traders? No, we cannot control other traders. Maybe can we control Citadel or the other ones? No, we can't. So that's not our business. Other traders are now not our business. The market is not our business. And also, can we control the universum? Can we control God, or call it whatever you want? Can we control this? No way. So the only thing what you can control, and this is only your business as a trader, this is you. Only you. So you must become accountability to yourself, and you must be only focused on your trading journey and not what's going on around you. And if you see like, hey, why is the market not matched with the call resistance? Why is something like happened for this? Hey, champ, this is not your business. This is the market maker business. Maybe other trader business from Citadel. They have a different plan. That's not your business, champ. This is only an information for you, how you can manage your risk, how you can go into the market about position size. It's all about you, what you do with the data. But what the market is doing based on this is not your business. And if you understand this, what's really your business is, I think then you make a big mind shift and don't get so much hanging around on other stuff, and also that you're not looking anymore to, hey, what they doing, what is this, what's the news. So the news, it's also not your business. Most of the time when the news came out, it's done. This is history. And also it's not our business. So this is something what I was understanding very, very fast. What is my business and what is not my business? And only focus on myself, on my trading journey, what I can improve. And if you know this, and if you have a clear focus on this, man, huge. You make a huge impact on your trading journey. Because so many people, they say to me, hey, Patrick, do you was seeing the options market activity? Oh man, what crazy move today. Yeah, man, it's not my business. The only thing what I have to do is how I was managed my trade today. Was I making a good job or a bad job? But what the options market doing? Come on, it's not my business. So this is the first thing. And how I handle losses, emotional. We have also the business mindset. So we must understand when we came into the market, it's business. We're making only deals. We can make good deals, we can make bad deals, and we can make very bad deals. And that's it. So I give money no feeling when I come into the market, because money is my product. Only money is important in my private life. That's important. But in the market, no way. I give money no feeling. It's only bad deal, good deal, very bad deal, very good deal. And this is something what you must understand. If you look into the money and then you give money a feeling because based on your private life, and now you came into the market and give money a feeling based on your private life, then you get emotional, my friends. And this is something what I'm not doing. It's only my business. If I'm out of the market, I'm out. And if I came into the market, I know now I'm a businessman. I make deals. That's it. Nothing more. So these two things are basically my basics, and this is something what make me a success, to understand what is not my business, what is my business, and understand that my business is also to make deals, and money is only a product. That's it.
Well, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. And at the end, it's the same. So I tell always the people, if we go to some okay, a little advertising, if we go to an Apple store and want to buy a new Apple iPhone, and the cashier says to us, "Hey man, I love this so much. I cannot sell the Apple iPhone to you. No way. You can give me whatever you want." Man, they get fired. They get out of the store. They can look for a new job. And it's the same. So if we give money a feeling, we get fired from the market. We get kicked out from the market. So money is only a product, like the Apple iPhone, or like bread and butter, or like fresh water, or coffee, I don't know, or pasta. But do you go to an Italian restaurant and the cook says to you, "No, I don't give it. I like it so much. I don't sell it to you." He have no feeling about this, only in the feeling when he was making the pasta, but not when he sell this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you understand the two things, I would promise you, you make a crazy mind shift in your trading.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, my question for you is about the next roadmap. So do you can give some outlook about what could be happened until the end of the year? So okay, we have in summer now and big relaunch again, but what we can expect until to the end of the year? Is there something what you can say or share with us?
Yeah,
What is on your roadmap?
absolutely. And again, so in July 17th, we're going to have a big product release. It's not a massive product release, but it's a big product release in terms of what is going to be available in the future. So there's been, over the past few months, we really worked hard on our infrastructure. And this is something that you guys might not see directly, because when you log into the Discord, you see charts and you see levels and you upload them, and everything has been working fine for the past few months. But when you think about how the data gets to you, then that's a totally different story. So there's a lot of work that goes into the back, and we've really done a crazy amount of work to be able to have the models calculated faster. So it's going to be much faster. We're going to have more coverage. We're going to have, everything's going to be integrated. We're going to create a database, historical database. So we're going to be able to run a lot of things that are necessary for you to understand the data, right? So a lot of the questions are like, how has this performed over time? Like, and we don't have that answer because we don't have the tools to be able to do that. So one of the things that we're going to work on is back testing. That's very important. The second thing we've worked on is infrastructure. So being able to deliver the data for you faster. And why is this important? Because in the next second half of the year, we're going to move towards intraday and real-time data, right? So in order for us to give you the models and the levels in real time, we need to have an infrastructure that allows us to calculate the data faster, on time, so that you can react. So that's number one. Second is we're going to come up with more models. So I already mentioned at the beginning, a lot of our users, ask us the question like, "Hey, I'm a swing trader. I don't really do intraday trading. I'm more positioning for the longer term, like, not obviously like as an asset allocation, but more as a swing trading." So we are coming up with our swing trading models that will give you levels with the 5 and 20 days time horizons with the high level of accuracy. And we're going to share that soon. So that's something that is very exciting. It will be appealing for somebody that, either you are positioning for the longer run, or you are looking at option strategies, like more advanced option strategies. Then we're gonna release our SKUs. So our SKUs will be available on stocks, ETFs, and indices. skews are a very important way of understanding how implied volatility and the premiums of option is moving. So that's going to give you like additional insights on, is the market buying calls out of the money, and why is that? So for example, what happened to Nvidia, we could have seen a lot of out of the money calls being bought, and you could have seen that through the skew. So that's going to be a very great added value. We're going to have more integrations. So again, NinjaTrader is one, but we are working on others. So we have a roadmap of integrations. And then we are going to start planning our web app, which is going to be very exciting, because one of the challenges that we see in Discord is that the data is available, but it's not as user-friendly as a web interface can be, having it on your phone. So come like the summer, we're going to start planning. I have meetings with my team in Italy in the summer. Our development team is there. So we're going to start planning that, and we're going to come up with a beta version for that. And that will allow us to not only give you access to an app and data at your fingertips, but also provide you with real-time information and more models. So again, making your life much easier, be actionable in the market in a few minutes a day, and, get access to accurate data. That's the whole point.
Oh, and I have also a question. Will you integrate the roadmap into TradingView very soon?
When you say the roadmap, what do you mean?
So the roadmap, so about the blind spot levels and all this, so that this is directly mapped out in a graphic.
That's a bit more complicated. So what we are going to do when we are going to build the app is integrate the TradingView library within the app. So you are basically going to leverage the TradingView charts, but everything will be pre-populated for you. So the levels, the blind spots, we are not going to draw the roadmap like you do it in the day, but you're going to have everything there. So you can...
Ooh, amazing.
You can have everything in one place. You could, you won't need to upload the levels anymore. So that's going to be also very great, because just going to open up an app and you're going to have the data all available there.
Yeah, that's amazing. And
like to have that, it seems simple, but there's a lot of work that goes on the back end to be able to get to that point. So we've done all the right steps. We're finishing up the infrastructure, building our database. So there's a lot of stuff that is going on at the back end, and that will be very exciting.
So we are busy with reason.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry was asking, can I show my NQ map and how it informed trading today? If you like, it may help new traders. I think, Barry, let's go. Or Fabio?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me stop sharing 1 second.
It's now your stage.
Okay. Share my screen. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the NQ, and this is what my map looked like after I put together my roadmap. I love Patrick's video that he showed, because that is exactly how I was putting my roadmap together. But if you, and this is my particular plan, but I'll tell you, there's another setup that I might use in here. But let me just show you. If you look in here at the blind spots, look at how many blind spots were in this area that's highlighted in blue. So to me, there's too much going on. There's too many collisions. It's too difficult to trade. So for me, I call this a crap zone or a shit zone where you don't want to trade. And so my plan was, if we broke below, I would go short to the next level. Or if we broke above, I would go long to the next level. So that was really the trading plan. And there's another, and if you look too over here, this is really just bouncing around a high volume node from volume profile. If you look at the regular GEX levels and how those are all laid out, if I would have been able to go long from here, then this would have been my first target. for getting out, and then I would have held up until call resistance, and then if I could have a runner to the 1-day max, and then this would have been my first put support would have been my first target, and then I would have tried to go down to 1-day minimum. But those are the kind of things that I would think about using the levels. And there's another setup that I sometimes use if I recognize early that it's going to be a choppy day, and I would only trade from zone to zone. So go long here or short here. And these are 15-minute candles. But as you can see, that's what happened all day. It just chopped from zone to zone through all of those blind spots. And I don't have the patience to sit through all of that. So for me personally, I would have only went short or went long if it broke out. Even though it's a perfectly valid plan to say, hey, I'm only going to trade the edges. I'm only going to do a short here or long here. That's another type of a plan that you may have. Although I didn't have that plan today, and since that wasn't my plan, I just didn't trade it. So for me, I had no trades.
That's perfect. This is exactly what I tell the people, Barry, and you catch it. So based on the blind spots, we have the range, and then we can say, okay, is this now a tradable assessed or not? So if you go maybe to ES, you was seeing the same picture. So, and then you can make a clear decision. So at the moment, it's not my market. You can set your alerts, and then if the alert is triggered you, then you can show up, and that's it. So trading becomes much easier.
Right. That's exactly what I did was I set an alert here at the top of this zone and an alert here at the top of, or excuse me, at the bottom of that zone there. So yeah, that's that was it. And it's pretty much the same in the ES since you mentioned it. Let's see, go to a 15-minute. See, I had a huge zone there, but there's just so many blind spots and call resistance. It was a mess in here. And I just didn't feel like I could trade it reliably. The candles were very whippy. And so for me, I didn't want to go long or short until I could get outside of these zones.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep. So
And
yeah,
should I say something? Should I share some insight with you? So every time,
please.
when I generate the levels, first before I share this with you, I plot this on my trading view to see if it makes sense or not. And sometimes you see so many blind spots there, but the market is not there, yeah, and you think, man, crazy, what's going on? And then you think like, how can this be possible? There must be an issue. But at the end of the day, man, the picture is so clear and it works. So it's like sometimes I'm thinking, man, there must be something wrong in the calculation. Check it again. But at the end, it works most of the time. Sometimes it's really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but it makes sense that there's a confluence with, there's the SPY and there's the there's every other thing going on, and everybody's trying to position in all of those markets. And so there's going to be people trading futures around that to hedge and to mitigate their risk and futures options. And so when you get into these really messy regions like that with all of these blind spots, that are confluences of every other index, it makes sense that it would be hard. No human can make these calculations and figure this out, so that you're going to get a lot of whippy action in there from whatever decision making is going on that's beyond our comprehension.
And I think if I can add something, Barry, which is a great point, like, if you trade ES or NQ, right, there's going to be different assets that could affect the price, like QQQ, NDX, SPY, right? But the problem is that if you look at the net gamma exposure of all these assets, it doesn't look the same. So a lot of another question that we get a lot, like, why is the SPY gamma exposure different from the SPX, right? So again, you need to understand how the market works and who are the players that are trading those assets, right? So if you look at SPY, maybe there's like longer term investors that are trading that, because SPY goes into your 401k, goes into like, your, pension plan and so on. So the gamma profile of SPY might be different from SPX, where SPX maybe like there's more futures traders, or there's more like hedge funds that are using 0DTE option, like things like that. So having those blind spots will allow you to then understand how, the market could react on different assets that are very correlated, but they don't necessarily move in the same direction.
Yeah. Yeah, great stuff. I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing with us.
Well, that's great. Yeah, thanks, Barry, for chipping in. And, I don't know if you guys have any other questions. We're going to do more of those as well. So, yeah, they're going to be recorded. So we'll post them in the channel later tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, but let us know. If not, yeah, if we'll give you a couple of minutes if you guys have other questions. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And again, Patrick, thanks for showing up. I know it's late in your time zone, but yeah, loved it.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Tomorrow's weekend, so it's Friday. No, yeah, it's Friday tomorrow. Yeah, it's Friday.
So Thursday no, it's Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you're right. So look at this. I'm in the feeling of the weekend now.
Okay, 1 second. There's one more question. Sorry, MJ. Let me go back. Can you use the 1-day max and minimum to estimate the range for the day? Yes, absolutely. So basically, the 1-day move and 1-day max and 1-day minimum are volatility bands that we calculate based on forward-looking volatility, and they can be used for the next day. So you get the data at the end of the day, and you can use them for the next day to estimate, the potential band of where the price could move, the upper band and the lower band. So the way you could use it is either through spreads. So a lot of our users within our chat rooms, they sell 0DTE options and they use those levels to place their strikes, or you could use them as a directional indicator. So when the price touches one of the levels, then you could potentially take a trade, like whether it's a reversal trade or momentum trade with the break of the level. Is there a correlation? There is simply a limit where the market is likely to bounce. So obviously, the levels tend to work, and we show you the back testing before. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be in the recording. But obviously, it can be that the market moves very fast. There's an event, there's a catalyst. Again, we don't control the market, like Patrick says, so we can't control what's happening. So we can only use the data that we have to forecast what could happen. So in a day like yesterday, the market stayed within the range and then moved outside of the range. So again, we couldn't control what is happening, but you can use that data to then place your stop loss, your take profit targets, your entry point. And yeah, it's a very useful indicator for sure. All right. I think, yeah, thank you guys for joining. I think this was great. And thank you, Barry and Nini, for taking part of the session. Loved it. Love those success stories. And again, see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to stop the recording now. And again, thank you for your time. And thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, you're welcome.